I never thought Dr. Phil would be base. How did this happen? I never expected this. Oh my god. ICE were healing them? Yes, apparently. Clearly, that's what's happening. They're helping them by deporting them. That's smart. Very good idea.
Oh, no,
They're not separating families?
No, well, look, if you arrest somebody that's a citizen that has committed a crime or is DUI with the child...
Fucking exactly. Thank you, Dr. Phil. He's cooking. He's completely right.
Child in the back seat, do you think they don't separate that family right then, right there?
But that's not what's going on.
Of course they do.
Yeah, of course it is. That's exactly what's going on. Do you think these people just came over? They didn't know that they weren't supposed to come over?
But what you're talking about, I was hearing you in your monologue saying you've got these ICE agents with masks on.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you why they have their mask on. Because we actually have legislators who passed laws about immigration and funded those laws to be executed. They actually pay these agents to go out and do this, and now they're doxing them. They're putting their name, their pictures, their addresses of their families on the internet. They're putting them on telephone poles. So of course they're wearing masks so they don't get outed, so people can do violence against their families.
It's so obvious. How is Dr. Phil the voice of reason here? He knows exactly what the fuck is going on. Of course. Yeah, duh. Of course, absolutely.
The negative actions against ICE agents are up 1,000%.
Wow, 1,000%.
The last several months. 130% violence against them. And why didn't they just make the laws?
That's true. He's right. All they're doing is doing their job. They're just doing their job. They're fulfilling the job they're given.
They didn't make that law.
These are things that the population voted on. People are mad about democracy, so they take it out on the lowest people possible in order to punish them for playing along with it.
Yeah, what are you expected to do? Just not do their job? If you don't like the law, change it. I don't like that law at all. Change the law.
If you don't like it, why are you going?
Because that is the law.
Well, I like it. I think it's great. I support every single one of them. Except for the family. There are fucking illegal aliens in the country. I don't even see how this is a controversy. I love it. Yeah, they do.
The Elementalist, yes. And more.
You put your family in this situation by doing something that you knew.
It's moving to the perimeter. Stay alert.
And now we're supposed to be the ones that has to accommodate you? Get the fuck out of here. It's emotional manipulation. It shouldn't be taken seriously at all. Any rational, logical evaluation of this would come to the conclusion that you can't have people illegally coming into the country randomly. And also, any logical and rational evaluation would come to the conclusion they need to be removed. Of course.
Now.
No, I'm just asking.
What I'm going on, I've looked at
But I don't like hunting. I don't go out with hunters, you know.
But they've got 12. No, wait a minute. They've got the ICE agents I've been on. I've seen the files.
Somebody says it's also emotional manipulation and ICE agents should be masked. They shouldn't if they're government officials. I disagree. Yeah, I disagree. If you're worried about it and you're worried about like masked men coming and like kidnapping somebody, then call the police. It's also not emotional manipulation whenever you have tangible data that shows that there's a lot of violence that's happening towards them. It's the same reason protesters are masked. Yeah, every special police unit is masked. Yeah, of course. It makes sense, and this is the same reason why the guys that work at that El Salvador prison are masked too. Let me just go back and just show this real quick. A lot of the reason why these guys are masked is because nothing bad will see. Yeah, there we go. All these guards are masked as well because you can't give these people any degree of any degree of credibility, because they will immediately take control over it and they will attack these people. Wanting to unmask them is dumb. The reason why, here's the thing, the reason why you want to mask them, the reason why people want to unmask the ICE agents is so they can intimidate and scare and assault their families. That's the only reason. It's not because they care about identification. It's not because anything else. It's so they can use these people's identities and then scare them and effectively terrorize their family. Like the ICE agents are doing? Well, no, they're not. They're simply upholding the law. That's the difference. And what random people on the internet are doing is not. And if you don't like that, then you can change the law. But last time we voted on it, it sure seemed like more people agreed with me. So just following orders? Yeah, orders that were democratically voted on by the majority, or I guess not a majority, it's a plurality, by the largest amount of people in the country. That's correct. They are following orders, the same as every person in the military is. I know you're going to try to make some parallel to, you know, like fucking Nazis or something like this. I'm sorry, but deporting people and families that are in the country illegally isn't the same as burning Jews alive for being Jews. And it's disrespectful to the Holocaust, it's disrespectful to Jewish people, and it's disrespectful to the nature of what Nazis were to delegitimize and try to turn what they did to be anything even remotely similar to deporting people that are breaking the law. It's not even the same people.
They've got a rap sheet, 12, 14 different cases long of child predators that they're taking off the street. These are the worst first that they're taking off the streets. Who would want them back in their community?
We all agree with that.
Hold on. Answer the question. Who wants them back in their community?
Keep answering your question. Nobody. We all didn't want minor criminals and gangs, but that pivoted to going to Home Depot. You know,
because they're working for under the table wages, they're not supposed to be here, and they broke the law by doing it. I don't want illegal aliens at Home Depot who are doing jobs that Americans could do for less money. That's bad. Yeah, of course.
Trump came down the first time from the escalator. He said, you know, the wages continue. The ones standing in front of Home Depot, just looking for an honest day's work, for an honest day pay, those will be good people on the system.
In a lot of cases, they are exploiting a system. They are here illegally. They're not paying into the system in the same way that they should be. The people that are employing them are also exploiting the system. They're taking advantage of it. And also, I'm sure that there are hard-working illegal aliens. Sure, of course that happens. But just because somebody worked hard, there's a lot of people that work hard for their jobs. Their job is breaking mirrors off the cars and stealing and selling the mirrors. Just because somebody works hard at something doesn't mean that the definition is good. It's dishonest. Yes, it's dishonest. Exactly. What we need to assume is that people, whenever they don't have a job, I think so. And I like those. Well, I think that, again, some people don't like the idea of going and arresting everybody in the people. I think it's great. I do. I think it's great. I think get every single one of them with nobody left behind. You know, get every single one of them, deport all of them. I do not think that they are a net positive for society. And I think that the more that we remove, the more that we can see that automation is absolutely necessary. No exceptions. No exceptions. Absolutely not. Yep, fish where the fish are. That's right. Yep, gotta catch them all. Absolutely. And, yeah, no illegal left behind. That's right. If you hire all Americans to Home Depot, at Home Depot, won't the prices follow? If the prices go up massively, then I think that we need to look at that as its own independent problem, rather than hoping to put a Band-Aid over it by exploiting an underclass of people. I think that exploiting an underclass of people is not the way that you should solve that problem. So yeah, I think that in some cases their prices will go up, and I think that yes, it's obviously, it's very true that a percentage and a part of America has experienced a larger amount of luxury and privilege because of the exploitation of third world laborers that are here illegally. This is absolutely true. But removing them is not only the ethical thing to do, but it's also the logical thing to do. Having an underclass of people that don't have workers' compensation, they don't have rights, they don't have social security, they don't have any form of representation, they don't have any, type of resolution to anything bad. And so, yeah, it's not safe, but it's a level of control that is problematic. So yeah, exactly. Doesn't mean the guy from Depot is doesn't mean the guy from Depot is a child molester, rapist, murderer. That's the point. We don't know who these people are if they came here illegally. That's true. Yeah, some of these people, and also some people can work and they can also be bad people at the same time. Yeah, nobody cares about ethical. They care about low prices. Well, I don't really care a whole lot about ethical either, but it's not really bad. I mean, this is why like consequences that are unethical, like phones, for example. Like, who cares? I don't see people turning in their smartphones because they're made mobile phones. The children. There's a huge drain on the system. Like, again, like anybody who lives in a city knows that in any of the cities, in the areas where these people are at, are shitholes. They are, every single time. So if these people have a positive net impact to the environment and to the country, then why is it that every single place that they're at is awful? I wonder. It's because they don't. And they have family members and people like that that come in that are all using the system.
The Ellen heralds the edge. And more.
Church Senior Pastor Doug Wilson makes no apology for his beliefs on God and country.
I'd like to see the town be a Christian town. I'd like to see the state be a Christian state. I'd like to see the nation be a Christian nation. And I'd like to see the world be a Christian world.
And now Wilson's controversial views as a Christian nationalist are gaining sway in the nation's center of power with the recent opening of his...
This is going to get way bigger, by the way. Way bigger. Like, right now, you're seeing the first 10%.
New church and high-profile parishioners like Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
Isn't it crazy that the guy that has tattoos on himself from the Crusades wants the country to be a Christian nation again? I would have never predicted that. Who could have ever known? Wow.
Is planting a church in D.C. part of your mission to try to turn this into a Christian nation?
Yes. So every society is theocratic. The only question is who's Theo. In a secular democracy, it would be demos, the people. In a Christian republic, it'd be Christ.
Well, what would you say to someone watching this and say, look, I'm a Muslim. Who are you to say your worldview is better than mine, that your God is better than mine?
Well, if I went to Saudi Arabia, I would fully expect to live under their God's rules.
But you said...
I told y'all it's coming back. I told y'all this is what's going to happen. I've been saying this over and over and over. This is the angle that I think a lot of people are going to start using in order to push religious messaging and to push for a more homogenous culture. Is that they're going to do it through religion.
Earlier that you want this to be a Christian world.
Yes.
So you want to supplant their religion with your Christian.
Yes, by peaceful means.
Not by peaceful means. Not by peaceful means. The window has not shifted enough for you to say what you really think. But, that'll change.
By sharing the gospel, there's a lot of work yet to do. I believe that we are working our little corner of the vineyard.
Wilson's Little Corner, a picturesque campus nestled on the outskirts of downtown Moscow, Idaho, is growing by the day with thousands of like-minded Christians.
That's right.
Parishioners of his church, known as
Christian nationalism, is going to be probably one of the fastest growing groups of people in the next 5 and 10 years. And I think that it's going to be adopted primarily by young people and Zoomers.
own and operate several businesses downtown next to liberal college town school.
Because of me.
Because of you.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That's a regular day for you.
That's not unusual.
No.
A big focus of his Christian movement is on a patriarchal society where men are dominant and women are expected to submit to their husbands.
Women are the kind.
This was retweeted by the Secretary of Defense, saying all of Christ for all of life. I don't sound so crazy anymore whenever I say that the 19th Amendment is going to be a conversation point, do I? I told you.
The people that people come out of.
So you just think they're meant to have babies. That's
well,
it. They're just a vessel.
No, it doesn't take any talent to simply reproduce biologically. The wife and mother, who is the chief executive of the home, is entrusted with 3 or 4 or 5 eternal souls.
I'm here as a working journalist, and I'm a mom of 3.
Good for you.
Is that an issue
No.
for you?
No, it's not automatically an issue.
Josh and Amy Prince, along with their four...
Not automatically an issue, but it will be. Yeah, I'm gonna be CEO of a company, you're gonna be CEO of the kitchen. Just the way it is. Why is this a problem for Christians? I think that people feel more comfortable criticizing Christianity versus criticizing Islam because, number one, Islam is seen as a foreign religion and Christianity is a domestic religion, and also it's because of race politics. It's because Christianity is primarily a white person religion and Islam is not. That's the reason why. Those are 2 of the main reasons.
Kids moved here from Washington State.
Do you see Amy as your equal?
Yes and no. In the sense that we're both saved by grace, we're absolutely on equal footing. But we have very different purposes, God-given.
But do you see yourself as the head of the household, as the man?
He is the head of our household. Yes, and I do submit to him.
So like moving here was ultimately your decision.
Yes.
That's a great
example.
Wilson says in his vision of a Christian society, women as individuals shouldn't be able to vote. His fellow pastor
Retweeted by the Secretary of Defense. That's right. This is the reason why a lot of young people aren't supporting Trump. It's because he's not conservative enough. Yeah. Biggest L ever, religion should not substitute secular law. I'm not a big fan of being ruled by religion either. I think that most people, I am a Reddit atheist, okay? So I agree with you in a lot of these viewpoints, but I'm telling you where things are going.
Pastors Jared Longshore and Toby Sumter agree.
In my ideal society, we would vote as households. And I would ordinarily be the one that would cast the vote, but I would cast the vote having discussed it with my household.
But what if there's your wife doesn't want to vote for the same?
Right.
Why would you even ask this? You know what the answer is. You know what just say it.
person as you.
Right. Well, then that's a great opportunity for a good discussion.
There are some who have gone so far as to say,
they're still trying to play by the old rules. That's it. These worthless men are the reason why sexist women exist. I think that you are in for a very, very bad next 10 years. Probably next 20 years. You're in for a really bad time.
that they want the 19th Amendment repealed.
I would support that. And I'd support it on the basis that the atomization that comes with our current system is not good for humans.
And Wilson, a veteran himself, is unapologetic about his view that women shouldn't be in certain leadership or combat roles.
They going all the way. Oh shit.
Looking at the leadership page for Christ Church, it's all
guys.
Men.
Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations, Karen. You just figured that out.
Do you accept women in leadership roles in the church and government?
In the church, no.
Why?
Because the Bible says not to.
Yeah, 12 disciples and
Well, that's not what happens in the Bible. Women do lead all the time.
Progressive faith leader Reverend Jennifer Butler is concerned about Wilson's growing influence.
Of course they're concerned. I bet they are. Yep.
Bow before the stars.
He is rapidly gaining in power. He has hundreds of churches established around the country.
Yep. These people have no idea where things are going.
They actually literally wanted to...
They have no idea what's going on here. This is a consensual situation. The end result of this is that it will not be. Clip it. And let's wait. For now.
Take over towns and cities, and they have access to this administration.
Yes. Wilson is part of a broader Christian nationalist movement making inroads with the Trump administration, with a newly created faith office led by evangelical pastor Paula White Cain, and people seen right outside the White House entrance praying and speaking in tongues.
We are standing on the soil of the White House, and we are declaring your word.
How precious.
And now there's a monthly prayer service at the Pentagon, initiated by Hegseth.
This is exactly what I expected. Yep. Yeah, if you had told me that, again, the guy with a bunch of tattoos for the Crusades would be doing this, I would immediately believe it. Yep. Start calling him the I think that a lot of people view, and this is the reason why I think what's happening primarily because they see encroaching religions, primarily Islam, taking hold in European countries, and I think that Americans are looking to inoculate themselves from that happening in America. And the way that they see that working is by taking on Christian nationalism as an oppositional perspective to Muslim nationalism or Islamic nationalism. And I think that's definitely what's happening here. And so these are people primarily who, I don't know if all of them necessarily believe everything in the Bible, but what I think that they do believe is that they want to be told what to do based off of the Bible and not the Quran. And I think that whenever you look at the way that the demographics have changed and the laws have changed in Europe, I think that many Americans see that and they don't want to see that happen here. That's the main reason why it's happening. It's self-preservation. Yes, it is. No one's telling them to do that, though. Well, I think that that's the perspective, right? The perspective is that a lot of these people, this is the outlook that a lot of them have, is that they're worried that if another religion comes into America and it creates enough of a power structure that it will effectively exercise its will over the people and it will supersede the existing laws. And they look at things like existing blasphemy laws and things like this that are being added in the UK and in Europe, and they see that and they say, oh, well, if these people can do it, why are they trying to change the laws and make people tell what to do? You see what I'm saying here? Why do we have to swap positions, right, Aaron? Because, again, that's the way they see it, and that's the way a lot of people see it. Islam practices places more limitations on than Christianity ever did. I don't care about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the way that people think and how they're evaluating this and where this is coming from. And if you can't see this happening, I think that you're very delusional. I think that you're not paying attention, and I think that you're increasingly blind. This is where things are going, and I think it's going to become more and more extreme. And as religion, and also there's another reason too, is that the lack of a global culture, right? Or sorry, a national culture. Like America had a much more homogenous natural culture, you know, even whenever I was a kid versus now. I think there's a lot of people that want to go back to that, and they see that one of the vehicles of going back to that is religion, and that's primarily Christianity here in America. And so that's the reason why it's happening. That's where it's going. Keep religion out of politics. Here's the problem. And you can debate whether this is true or not, but I'm telling you this is what people believe. People don't want to keep religion out of politics out of a very, very simple thing, that other people won't keep their religion out of politics. So they view this as you don't want to bring a knife to a gunfight. You see what I'm saying? Religion is politics. Yes, exactly, right? And so anyway, USA does have kings, exactly. And so that's really what it is, and vice versa, exactly. And so, yeah, it's reactionary. It is in a lot of cases. Denmark banned America, have you seen that? Yeah, I did see a little bit of that. It's not a problem with religion and politics, people just don't want to. Well, do you think that impact? Of course.
Oh, the element heralds the edge.
Wilson's global connection to the administration.
Organizational practice, but it's something that we love to see.
For his part, Hegseth has publicly praised Wilson.
Now we're starting to shoulder a generation later. The Doug Wilsons and the others.
Wilson's influence spans the globe with more than 140 churches. Linux moved to Moscow from Africa.
It's really because I wanted to be a part of a movement that was doing something, especially in building Christian institutions.
Are there other black families in this community?
Oh, absolutely. They're good.
What a weird question to ask, especially from that name. Like, that's an African name. Christianity is massive in Africa. Now, the type of Christianity that's in Africa isn't the same as, like, Orthodox Christianity or like, you know, Catholicism. It's not directly the same, but it's similar. Yeah, it's massive. Yeah, it's huge.
There's a few black families.
Wilson maintains all are welcome to his church, but he's also not shying away from his past controversial statements on race.
Do you still...
I would have never guessed. Wow.
Believe what you said back in the 90s, that there's a mutual affection between master and slave?
Yes, it depends on which master and slave you're talking about. Slavery was overseen and conducted by fallen people. And there were also people who owned slaves who were and didn't use them. I think that system of chattel slavery was an unbiblical system. Grateful and strong.
But he also wants God.
I told you guys. I told you.
Same-sex marriage because he thinks
Man. Remember what I said before about how people are going to become slaves again? There's no such thing as ethical slavery. Okay.
homosexuality is a crime.
in the late 70s and early 80s, sodomy was a felony in all 50 states. That America of that day was not a totalitarian hellhole.
So you would like America to go back to that?
Yep.
Wilson maintains his ultimate goal is to bring about the
Yep, that's it. That's the goal.
the second coming of Christ through his work and rejects critics' claims he's trying to make the dystopian world of The Handmaid's Tale a reality.
I'm not a white nationalist. I'm not a fascist. I'm not a racist. I'm not a misogynist.
How far off do you see a Christian nation, like a full-on Christian theocracy?
Oh,
15 years away.
250 years?
250 years.
Yeah, honestly, that's yes.
What you see. But you do think it will happen?
Yes, I do. We're not going to usher in anything ourselves. We're really genuinely pioneers.
I think it'd be 50. 250 is a long time. Not a chance, 0%. Well, anyway, so this is the new guy. This guy pretending people aren't doing sodomy just because it was illegal. Yeah, but it's like they weren't able to do it publicly and it was controlled and people weren't able to express themselves in the same way. So I do think that's a pretty big difference. Let me see if I can pull up a few more of these here. And here's another one. Pete Hegseth gives a, well, let's just see what he does.
Mr. Hegseth, do you think the Muslim Brotherhood should be designated as a terrorist organization?
Why did your chief of...
I told you guys that's the reason why it's happening. That's it. Egypt think so? Yep.
staff try to oust a White House liaison?
Again, it's a shock that the guy with Crusader tattoos, you know, really would think that, isn't it? Who could have ever believed this?
So you just think they're meant to have babies? That's it. They're just a vessel.
No, it doesn't take any talent to simply reproduce biologically. The wife and
well, this is the same one. I was seeing if there was another one here, but let's see if I can find it. Pete Hegseth shares a clip saying women shouldn't have the right to vote. The 19th Amendment should be repealed, and women should have to submit to their husbands.